Greetings and welcome to a Prayerful Pause. I'm Nancy Woodworth-Hill, and amongst other things, a spiritual director. Today we will look at choosing to say no so that you can say yes. Frederick Buechner claims that the place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's hunger meet. The challenge is to find this place and to be able to say yes to these kinds of opportunities. If you haven't already viewed the 2 prayerful pauses on naming your purpose, I suggest working with these may assist you with the material in this video. According to the Reverend Dr. Rob Voyle, a blessing is an external to us voice that speaks a word of truth about us that resonates deeply within us and calls forth that truth from within us to be manifested in the world. So blessings are a profound yes to life. A curse is an alien voice that tells us a lie about us and leads to alienation from ourselves and from others. Curses are a life-taking no. Our task is to seek interactions that are freely given blessings. A good beginning is to name your purpose, as any activity associated with it is life-giving. And once this is known, it is a matter of learning when and where to say no, so that you're free to say yes to yourself, to neighbors, to the earth, and to the divine. It is also helpful to be aware of your key values. What are 2 or 3 values that, if you didn't have them, you would be a different person? Be aware that what we can value can be temporal. So, for example, a pet, a motorcycle, a houseplant. These can disappear overnight, and we would experience loss. But it's the deeper values which remain. So, for instance, the companionship with a pet, power or moving like the wind with a motorcycle, and beauty with houseplants. So take your time to ponder your key values. They are also sets of values you hold about the external world, physical, social, spiritual context, and your wishes for your future. There may be times when you feel as if you've been gut punched, and these are often times in which your key values have been violated. So it's a good response to take some time to reflect on what happened. Identify which value that you hold deeply was violated. We are generally indifferent to values associated with many aspects of the world. It is when we are deeply hurt or angry that awareness of our values can be extremely helpful. And it's also helpful to consider how to respond in a way that can transform things that are upsetting into things that contain the life-giving values we all desire. An example might be if we have or have had a pet and value their companionship, yet we see an animal being abused. Being angry won't accomplish anything. It may be appropriate to contact authorities, to respond by volunteering in an animal shelter, or donating funds to the medical needs of abused animals, or fostering animals that need a forever home. There are a number of possibilities available. When considering actions that one may take or invitations that one may accept, so saying yes, it is important to understand the goals that are being offered. And goals that are achievable are positive, valued, imaginable, resourced, and perceived as worth that resource. Ecological, meaning any objections are satisfied, not overcome. Just as in justice, because others cannot be disadvantaged. For to be truly life-giving, they will increase freedom. They're owned by those who are working on them, and the path to the goal is consistent with the goal. It's also important to recognize that there are different seasons in our lives. Think of childhood, young adulthood, education, preparation, when you have young children, taking care of aging parents, aging itself, illness, among others. These have an impact on how one says yes to a variety of the demands on our time and energy, as well as how one says no to other opportunities. When we are asked to participate in something, or even to make decisions about how we use our own time and energy, it's important to consider several things. Our life purpose and our values. Does this option support them? Does it violate them? Or, contrarily, does it have nothing to do with them? When we are looking at the nature of the goals that are being set out before us. In order to live into our best selves, such reflection will aid us in knowing when to say yes and when to say no. Saying no allows us to say yes in a way that deeply matters to us and to the world, allowing our spirits to fulfill their purpose. May you know when to say yes and when to say no. If this video has been helpful to you, please consider sharing it. Go in peace.